Welcome to a special commentary edition of The Potato Pick. You're listening to Green and Faceless on the Couch. The reason why we're having a special commentary edition is because somebody lost the recording while editing. A computer crash happened. But instead of doing it again, we decided to do this, which might be fun.
I love you. Welcome back to the Couch Potatoes. Plenty of room, big old couch. Come on in, have a seat. I am the Green Traveler from Gorsh.
This is where I say I'm the Faceless Leon, and I also say it's a podcast about movies and TV, and then ask
if I did, I messed up.
They did it.
I know.
They didn't do it, though.
I know. Well, I definitely said come back and sit on the couch and all that jazz.
Yeah, and then we kind of just go back and forth about this for a little bit.
I'm sorry if I stepped on your toes.
They didn't step on my toes. Neither of us were paying attention.
ADHD
That's how we
is
start
a beautiful thing, everybody.
These episodes. Somebody said something funny.
And scene.
I don't know what it was. So we'll see how this goes. Something long was said here by me, and it was probably something along the lines of, well, the fact that we have these two movies that we're talking about. And I hope this commentary is driving you as insane as, what this genre Smackdown should be.
I believe this is Brad.
Oh, thank you, Brad.
Thank you, Brad. Appreciate it, Brad. No, yeah, you've got a beautiful one here. Today we have a genre Smackdown, and it's a bit of a niche genre, I should say. It's the idea. It's not so much a genre Smackdown, but more along the lines of the treatment of the mentally ill.
Yeah,
Smackdown.
Yeah, I like that better than what I said earlier. Insanity, something that's not good.
Yeah,
that's not PC. Greg agrees. Greenie agrees.
Oh yes, very much so. Both villains, but cast in this weird anti-hero light.
Yeah, I don't know about that with Travis. I think is what I'm trying to get at here, but I can't
McMurphy.
Recall. Oh, McMurphy is Jack Nicholson's character. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, and insanity laughter by Greg there. I don't know what they're responding to.
He's a statutory rapist.
Oh, okay, yeah, I was saying that I prefer...
And the only reason he goes to a mental asylum is because he doesn't want to do work in prison.
Yeah.
Like, dude's awful.
Yeah, they're both really bad, but I think I was arguing that Travis is worse because he kills people.
He is better. Like, I would say he's pretty much the same as Travis. They're both despicable human beings. Travis Bickle, of course, is Taxi Drivers. What's his name? Robert De Niro. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Why'd that hurt so badly? And then Randall McMurphy is Jack Nicholson, and I think they both do great jobs. But before we dive into both separate films,
I once had a character in a role-playing game named Robert De Niro.
Oh yeah, great performances. But like the biggest difference in these films for me is that
there's nothing like the actor.
One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, as you just like kind of put across. They do cast this awful, despicable human as like the protagonist. You know, he's in this like anti-hero light.
Well, yeah.
He is, but the thing is, yeah, but there's a difference. Taxi Driver is clearly it is focusing hard on how his mental illness and the city's illness are the same, basically. They're one and the same.
The Green Traveler's
and like it's really the Taxi Driver is not trying to make Travis into a hero. He accidentally becomes one at the end, but it's not trying to be like, see, this guy's a good guy.
Yeah, and that's just
One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest is constantly being like, McMurphy's such a good guy. He's teaching these guys self-confidence. He's getting them to step up and be like, be
and I like him. Is that so wrong?
And it's like, dude is a statutory rapist who doesn't want to work in prison, and so he cons his way into a mental asylum. Don't make me feel good for this guy.
I can't say I wouldn't do the same about the conning my way out of the work. Why should I work for a prison? Like, really, tell me that. Why they're just making profit.
That 15-year-old girl.
We're talking about we're continuing to talk about statutory mishaps, I'm gonna say.
That's true. We don't see McMurphy's crimes.
No, we don't.
So it's definitely much easier to fall into liking the man. I mean, Jack Nicholson, even though he's like obviously portraying a crazy man, who's not really charming. Crazy. He's just
is the thing
a little more wild and on the violent side, if you will.
Yeah, he is violent. That is true.
But he doesn't
he's
actually
not
have
more
mental,
violent than Travis, if that's what you're trying to say.
He has no mental illness. He's not.
No, not really.
Yeah. He's not suffering from any malady. There's no chronic condition that he's trying to recover from.
He's not overly psychopathic.
He's just put into this asylum
movie.
with all of these individuals who have their own issues, or traumas. And also, if I say anything politically incorrect in this episode, please forgive me, dear potatoes.
Same here. Sorry.
The world is ever changing, specifically around the perception of mental illness and everything.
I think it's becoming more positive.
Some of the verbiage, I know that I still probably use is politically incorrect. So, just forgive me if I say something and there's like one or two of you out there who are like, oh, that's just like, I'm sorry. Just mention it in the comments so that I can... Yeah, we would like to be correct. Yeah, mention it in the comments so that we can improve.
Yeah, for sure.
We're ignorant.
Well, I don't know that that's an excuse.
We're ignorant.
Don't say it like that. Don't say it like that in lieu of an excuse for...
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Let us know about the mistakes so we can improve.
Yeah, let us know.
But don't hate on us because we just don't know. I'm so sorry.
That is true. But anyways, you shouldn't hate on people just because they don't know.
Yeah, a lot of these individuals in this hospital
ignorance is not an excuse.
They call them... I haven't actually read the book by Ken Kesey, but they call them the chronics in the movie. They have...
And I'm ignorant.
Really strong conditions to where most of them can't even speak. Some of them are just kind of sitting in corners. But there's a small group of individuals, some of them who are voluntarily there, some who are criminally committed.
For a long time, they would use the term invalid.
I don't know.
But I don't know.
Chief I can't remember what Chief Bromden did.
That's
got him
definitely
committed.
not a good term now, I think. But at the time, during this film, I don't know that they used the term, but that is a term that would have been used in the past. If that helps people with the description.
Christopher Lloyd, so beautiful.
Yeah, Christopher Lloyd's in this movie.
Oh yeah. That's Will Sampson does a great job too. In fact,
he's angry.
Did Will win a... This is one of those movies that won the Big Five. There's only a few movies to do it. Oh wow, it's actually the second movie to win
the Big Five.
The Big Five, which is Best Picture, Best Actor, Actress, Director, and Screenplay. But I guess they did not.
I don't think I caught that.
Maybe they did not nominate Will Sampson. I thought maybe they had, but no, he's great. But what's really incredible to me is Christopher Lloyd, because I always remember Christopher Lloyd as this.
He plays
very happy comedic
Chief
actor.
Is the character's name. He doesn't get a real first name.
Exactly. It's seeing him as a young, violent, and loud. Oh my gosh, it's quite a change from what I used to with this era. I mean, even this era's
Grandpa.
Christopher Lloyd is just Clue to me. I just think of Clue when I think of young Christopher Lloyd.
Yeah, he's kind of randy in that movie, really randy.
Oh, so good.
So he goes from angry to randy to goofy grandpa. That's our arc of Christopher Lloyd. I do think I made fun of his head shape at this point, and that's not very kind. Yeah, it's not.
Yeah.
So I apologize.
It's very, he hadn't grown into his head yet.
Okay, that's where I talked about.
Yeah. Yeah, he hadn't grown into his head yet. He hadn't grown the wild hair yet, really. There was wild hair.
Oh, yeah.
He does have it, but...
No, not in this movie. He's shaved.
Oh, was he shaved in this one? Yeah, he was, wasn't he?
For sure.
Well, anyways, other inmates, you have... Inmates, Jesus. Other individuals, they're not in prison.
Well, actually,
they're not in prison. The other patients. You have Billy Bibbit, who is a stutterer, played by Brad Dourif, the amazing Brad Dourif, Chucky. And then
I didn't do that
other things,
episode,
Worm Tongue.
It's fun.
And Dale Harding is played by William Redfield?
Bibbit.
I don't remember Dale.
Oh. Dale
he's the
smart
yes,
one.
yeah. He's got all. We all have a Dale in our lives. Let's be honest. Like he's. I don't know how to describe him.
You said that.
Yeah, kind of.
I'm your Dale. You're mine. So there.
Yeah.
Ha ha ha.
And he feels very he doesn't want to be left out of things either. He's very
he's very much a child.
Yeah, he's got to be in.
They're all children, and I think that's what's great about it. But maybe that's demeaning. At the same time. I can relate
to him way too much, sadly now. Jeez. We also have Charlie Cheswick.
Charlie Cheswick. He's,
I can't remember who Charlie is either.
He's very childlike, throws tantrums. He's the one who goes like, why can't I have my cigarettes? Why you get my cigarettes?
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm. Okay, I remember him now.
I remember I had to describe like 5 of the 8 inmates.
Yeah. He's the first one to go into the electro, whatever it's called, therapy room.
Cheswick and I guess Chief as well. I'm not sure, but they definitely.
Yes.
McCarty? What the fuck is his name? We talked about this earlier in the movie. Jack Nicholson's character gets electroshock therapy, and I mean, he does a good job at pretending to seize. I mean, he does his research. He does. Yeah. Well, hopefully this is entertaining to listen to.
And one thing that they hopefully don't do anymore either are lobotomies, which is the last case.
Oh, I know what
solution
I said.
In this time.
Earlier I said that electroshock therapy is still common practice for things, but for severe cases of like bipolar disorder and other schizophrenia and other personality disorders like that. But usually it's therapy first.
Just made it easier to handle the patients,
Oh, and then I also explained that in this time period and earlier, there was a doctor that literally went around in a lobotomy mobile handing out lobotomies, and people would volunteer for them, like for probably common personality disorders and stuff like that, and, like ADHD and stuff like that.
Ugh.
And
that's so sad.
It's pretty fucked up.
I think the last important individual to mention before we get to the other side of the aisle, which is the nurse, but the last patient to mention is Martini, played by a young Danny DeVito.
He's adorable. Yeah.
So adorable. Yeah. I was talking to you before we started recording that I did not realize... I watched this movie for a college film analysis class. Both of these movies I watched for a college film analysis class. But the first time I ever watched this was like maybe freshman or sophomore year of college.
It wasn't that long ago.
And
for me.
I don't know how I did not realize that was Danny DeVito. Like watching it back this time around, I was just like, what the fuck? Like, how do we not even talk about this in class? Or maybe we did talk about it and I was just not paying attention. Who are we talking about?
I don't know. I honestly couldn't tell you who we were talking about. Did we mention everybody that's worth mentioning? I think so. But if we didn't, we might get to it. Oh yeah, Scatman Crothers is.
Yeah, once he smiles and starts talking, you're like, oh, there it is. Like you can hear it clearly. He's wonderful in this too. I really like Martini.
We're still talking about Danny DeVito. Why wouldn't you? He's good.
And that's another thing too, is like with their conditions, like sometimes you really don't know if they're just fucking with the guy. Like, because like when during that scene, I was like, Martini really could just be fucking with what's his name, Dale.
Martini was really funny to watch. He was a bit prankish, and it kind of works in that like traditional puckish kind of way because of Danny DeVito's size. He was sitting in chairs in just the best way possible throughout the film. It was great. I loved it. I hope that doesn't sound demeaning to Danny, but I do.
Yeah. And they call Billy Bibbit Chucky.
Yeah, they sure did.
And when he dies, he goes to possess the doll.
Oh yeah, he does die in the movie. Spoilers,
yeah. It's a really sad scene. It's a sad scene because Nurse Mildred Ratched, played amazingly by Louise Fletcher. Like, seriously, like, one of the best performances in cinema, I will say.
I mean, she does do a great job. She was perfect for this role, 100%. I mean, this is what I see her as.
Oh, yeah. I need to watch that too.
Oh, you know what I just realized? She's a Bajoran priest. They're called Vedics in Deep Space Nine, Star Trek Deep Space Nine. Yeah, that's honestly like the perfect casting. I agree.
Because Louise Fletcher
really
is
good at it.
Hard to beat. Like this is a great villain. Like Mildred Ratched.
She's a villain in that too.
You can see where she's coming from the work standpoint. Like when for instance, when Billy commits suicide, again, sorry, spoilers, but when Billy commits suicide near the end, she immediately is trying to calm the patients down, telling them to get back to what they were doing. And of course that pisses off McMurphy, who attacks her.
Even more than he was.
But you have to think from the standpoint of a nurse. She's trying to keep all of the other patients calm. It's just a harrowing situation that just happened.
Keep them calm. I mean, I agree.
Yeah, exactly. All that said, though, like, because of course you can see the nurse in her. You can see that she's just doing her job.
For sure.
There are still, there are still so many villainous things to her personality. That's like no denial. She's a dom. Like her treatment, like she's handing out drugs like candy, pretty much.
She's a sadist, really.
Like as you were saying,
a fascist too. They call her a fascist a couple times.
And she's very passive aggressive. She has like a lot of controlling, like. I don't know. The movie definitely, like, even though she is a villain, she's the one who it's like should be more anti-hero because it's like
it's interesting.
Again, she's a nurse. She's doing her job in this asylum. It's obviously it's not a gray area. The asylums, like, that's very much on point. But she's a much better person than McMurphy.
That's probably true, but I don't know.
I know he brings out the good in these men.
Honest.
I know he corrals them and starts giving them this ability to stand up for themselves and to fight back against, all this societal pressure and everything.
Yeah.
Dude still raped a 15-year-old.
Yeah. It's
like,
complicated.
That's unforgivable. It's unforgivable.
I think I go in a long spiel about how teenagers are amorous and stuff like that, and it really just sounds like I'm defending the fact that this 38-year-old or whatever had sex with a 15-year-old.
Right.
And that's not great of me, but I just feel like it's a strange arbitrary number between 18 and 16.
Right.
But so that's really what I was trying to get at.
But he's a 38-year-old.
Yeah, and then then it turned back around on me, and I was like, "Yeah, that doesn't sound."
I don't know.
Good.
We don't know. Yes, you're right. We don't know his circumstances coming in.
Yeah,
but the way it was presented is that he did this rape. Didn't really seem sorry about it.
No, he doesn't seem
and
sorry
he also had other assaults. That was
they
what
weren't
was
sexual.
at least
though.
mentioned.
They were fighting. And I argue that he did say that she, came on to him at a bar and he asked her for her age. And, the next step that he could be is like, yeah, I don't believe you. And that's what he probably should have done. But I don't know. I just shouldn't argue for it. I shouldn't be on his side. Like, Greedy is just totally right here. And I almost got canceled by the culture. And now I'm here and I'm on the other side of it and I've learned the truth. He's a bad man. Just because he's charming doesn't mean he's a good man. He's a bad man. He's a bad man and I don't like him, but he is charming. I will say he's charming.
Yeah. It's fair. Yeah, that's where I'm at. The whole situation's still wrong.
Yeah, it's wrong. Like, I really wasn't trying to argue against the fact that it's wrong. It's wrong.
Not that big of a deal. Yeah, once they're at a certain age, like once their brain's fully developed after age 25, anything goes.
All right, I get what you're saying.
I know. Hey, I'm not getting canceled. I'm on the side against the statutory.
I'm sorry, Internet. Just have opinions. I don't want to have sex with teenagers. I want that to be clear. I don't want that. I'm just saying, like, I've had friends get in trouble who just became adults, and then because their parents didn't like them, their partner, they had statutory rape charges against them. That's the only thing. Like, I find it very strange that we punish teenagers for having sex with each other.
To me, he always just seems so sly and manipulative and sleazy. Like, he just has, I don't know, that's always been my perspective. Yeah, that's very true. Maybe that's the reason I don't like a lot of guys. But
yeah,
he definitely just comes across though as this manipulative, sleazy guy who
I agree.
I don't know, the movie as it's going along is trying to get me to root for him.
You can't help it.
And even though Jack Nicholson brings this this charismatic appeal, he has his own charm and persona. Almost. But I can never get behind McMurphy. I've always hated this character. He's just such... He doesn't deserve the ending. I will say that.
Yeah, nobody deserves
He doesn't deserve the ending in any way.
Nobody.
But it is a... No, but that's his fault.
What? I don't know what we were talking about now at this point, but apparently it was his fault.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't know. Huh.
Well, I think I can help him. Yeah, that's
Nurse Ratched is the one who fights for him to stay, for Mac to stay.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's her biggest villainous moment is when she makes that decision to keep him under her thumb.
Washed her hands.
Oh, it's so cruel, so cruel. And she manipulates the ending. She definitely brings that about. I don't know. I do like this movie.
I don't know if it's intentional.
I respect it for...
the man did strangle her.
It's cinematic place in history.
Big spoilers.
It's a very big movie. It's one of those must sees. If you ever go to film school, you'll find out that they'll make you watch this. Almost certainly. And it is great. It's got amazing performances.
I agree. Really good.
But, oh my gosh, I don't know. I still give it a 4 stars, but
that's a fair rating. Yeah. It's a good film. I think this is where I give my closing statement, or I get confused and try to say something else about the film, and then get Greeny to give their closing statement, even though they just did. But I do give the film a face and a half, because it's a very good movie, and I enjoy all of the bits with the patients playing and working together.
They don't show it.
Okay. They don't show something. Well, I'm not really sure what's going on here, but I'm rambling about something. Maybe... I think maybe this is the point where I'm like, oh, man, I can't believe how hard I fought for this statutory rapist. Man, I'm just the worst. And I just really keep on going on about it, don't I?
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
If
Ratchet, yeah.
If I could say one thing about this is that it will cut down on the time of the episode.
Well, I mean, that was my closing statement. I gave it 4 stars.
Yeah,
I thought you were putting your closing statement in.
I knew it. I knew it. I knew I got confused.
Right. There's a lot of good movies in the 70s, but I can agree with that.
I think I said something to the effect that I don't know
soda pop
very
break?
many movies in this era. Yeah, let's do a soda pop break. That sounds great. Thanks, Greenie, for suggesting that. It's probably me.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Billy's a great character.
So we're still talking about the film, so...
Although I really wish his name was Billy Babbitt, because, God, it's so hard for me to say Billy Bibbit.
Billy Bibbit is kind of hard to say, you're right.
Let's take a soda pop break.
Okay, yep, we're taking a break.
Quickly dash through Taxi Driver.
I agree.
I love you.
Let's see if anything interesting was said during the soda pop break.
On the Wikipedia that it says credits adapted from 1-9. Like, what? What does that mean? AFI catalog and BFI. Okay, let's do it.
The answer was no.
I love it. So, Taxi Driver. Here we go.
Travis
We're
Bickle.
back. Yeah, the young Travis Bickle. He's a vet of...
he's got... Yeah, I think it was Vietnam for sure, but he's just...
Oh, do you?
What?
Ooh.
Yeah, I do think that, and I'm pretty sure that was right, but...
Mr. Truckle, Scatman Crothers.
Oh, yeah. I
right.
made a joke that Mr. Truckle...
He's a genius.
And Mr.
My dad
Bickle
is a secret genius.
What's the reason why they were paired together for the
Yeah, that's right.
Pick?
I actually didn't... I was telling you before that, before we recorded as well, I didn't realize that The Shining was a reuniting of Scatman Crothers and Jack Nicholson. Who knew all this time? I can't believe how stupid I must have been in college.
Hey, I mean, it's college. Nobody's really paying attention. Let's be honest.
It's Scatman Crothers.
I mean,
You got the shine.
Like, I much rather would have gone to school now, even though I was attentive in my classes. I just think I would be a better student now.
But no, Travis Bickle, young Vietnam vet. Back in New York City, driving his taxi around and just, watching this city just fall into corruption and decay.
Yeah.
While his own brain falls into corruption and decay. Pretty freaking hard, too.
Yeah. He does some stuff. Pretty famous pop culture scenes in this movie.
That's really, yeah.
And yeah, he's Robert De Niro, and it's because of this movie,
it's fun.
Partially. But, also Godfather 2. But, yeah. I mean, it's a very different role from, like, Gangster De Niro.
Yeah.
But it also is, like, I don't know, it's Robert De Niro.
You get angry real fast. Like, my senior year of college, I was... I think throughout the whole senior year of college, I got 2.5 hours of sleep every night.
Oh, yeah.
If that. Most nights I would just stay awake.
I think we're talking about insomnia is a big problem for Travis. A big problem for both of us.
Go through the whole night reading my book with a flashlight because I didn't want to disturb anybody in the house. But you get pissy real fucking quick.
Oh, yeah.
Your brain starts to just, like, think everybody's out to get you.
Yeah. And he was, I think, paranoid to start because he obviously has PTSD as well. Yeah. He didn't have a full deck of cards to start with, is what I'm going to say, for Travis Bickle.
Can't do it. Yeah. Yeah.
And he can't.
And that's kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, heavily. Yeah, vets weren't taken care of. They came back from Vietnam and weren't treated
they
at all.
They were not treated well.
And he's one of that. He's
not sure what I said exactly.
Kind of steeping in his own hatred, disgusted with everything around him, and he's got nobody to vent to. He's got other taxi drivers, but
the wizard.
They don't even have names.
I remember talking about the wizard.
Who I kept calling the guy from Everybody Loves Raymond.
Yeah. But it's... now I don't remember
his
dad
name. In that, yeah.
But his name was Frank,
Raymond's dad,
and Everybody Loves Raymond.
Oh, he's also in the live-action Scooby-Doo movies.
Yes. Yeah,
the first one, at least. He was the original Black Knight.
I thought it was the second one that he was in, and I think you're about to confirm that.
Oh, maybe it is the second one.
Or
no, it might be the second one.
So,
God, I love it. It's phenomenal.
Yeah, he is phenomenal in general, I think. I really enjoyed him growing up.
Yeah, he's definitely been in stuff.
Yeah, a lot of stuff. He's Young Frankenstein.
Yeah, he's just Everybody Loves Raymond guy.
No, Young Frankenstein.
Sorry, Peter Boyle.
Definitely Young Frankenstein, and thank you for saying his name.
Oh, he's also in Taxi Driver. Yeah, he's in Taxi Driver. No, yeah, he plays the wizard.
Peter Boyle
is just such a silly...
is a classic actor up there with Don
He's
Mello.
A good example, though, of kind of everyday society, because Travis literally tells him that he has issues. Like Travis is like, yo, man, I'm not sleeping well. I'm thinking about, killing the president. Not the president, but a presidential candidate. And Peter's like, hey, man, I get it. Life sucks. This isn't word for word, but he's just like, you just got to keep going, man. You just got to...
He didn't tell him that he was going to kill the guy.
No, he didn't, actually.
Yeah. But he did...
But he told him that he definitely had violent tendencies.
Yeah. And honestly...
And these, mental, what do you call them?
Episodes?
Intrusive thoughts.
Oh.
That he was certainly willing to act on. And Wizard was just like, it's kind of like when your friends clearly give you a shout for help, and they just kind of are like, I don't want to step down that path. It's just like, hey, just, hunker down. You'll be all right. It's just like, he kind of just turns that blind eye to this,
I don't know. I think he did what
decaying
he
man.
Do.
That just allows Travis to
what nobody knew
further go downhill.
What to do.
It's at first shown through Sybil Shepherd's portrayal of Betsy. She's a campaign worker for Senator Palpatine's presidential run.
The first example.
He had to inspire the name. It's got to.
His
name is Palantine.
Senator Palpatine.
New Hope was 76, I think. Yeah, or 78. Either one.
Yeah, so I don't remember which one comes first off the top of my head, but somebody ripped somebody off. That's what I have to say about it.
77, I was right around it. I was trying to think of that 70s show.
Remembering the date from that 70s show.
It had to inspire it. Fuck!
Damn it!
But no, the senator's name is Palantine.
Yes.
And he's just pretty much just bland white dude, in politics. Just nothing real special about him. But one of his campaign workers is Betsy, and Travis just starts, falling in love with her instantly.
It's like a first sight kind of thing, and that's
beautiful.
It's silly.
And
he's definitely super creeping on her.
God.
The first time she notices him, he is sitting in his taxi just
he reminds me of Rorschach.
Yeah.
From The Watchmen.
Because he's a vigilante. Yeah, I get you. I get what you're saying.
It could have been inspired from them. Yeah, he probably watched this movie and was just like, I can see a vigilante like this. I gotta name him Travis, though. Jesus Christ. Sorry, Travis's.
Yeah, Travis
Bickle. Yeah.
Yeah.
He already started bad with the last name Bickle.
Bickle.
It's like a pickle.
Billy Bibbit. Bibbit. Bickle. Travis Bickle. Billy Bibbit. Bibbit. Bickle. Bibbit. Bickle.
I didn't realize that either. That's so funny.
I think
because that's not who I. That's I mean, young Scorsese's.
Scorsese was in the back of the taxi.
He's such an iconic look now, but I did not recognize him as a. That's so funny.
Being real creepy about it. But
he's
a creep, a big creep.
Hits on Betsy.
Not Scorsese.
They go on a couple dates,
I don't know
or on one date at least. And then he ends up taking her to a porn theater because he goes to porn theaters a lot.
His character
he can't sleep, so he just goes to a porn theater, and he's not there to get pleasure. He's just there to
Well, I don't know.
Watch porn. He's I don't know. I don't know.
The idea was to watch porn and then get tired because you.
Yeah.
But you're not supposed to do it there. You're not supposed to do it there, yeah. And that's what happened with Pee Wee Herman. He did it there.
Yeah. Who knows? Who fucking knows?
I'm pretty sure that's accurate, but whatever.
Yeah, I could only imagine.
I can only imagine what I said was funny.
No.
I could only imagine that I had something poignant to say.
Yeah. I think back to my younger adult days when I was walking down the back alleys of Chicago at 3 a.m. with a friend and thinking, I could have just been killed then and there. Like, who knew?
Yeah.
What the fuck was I doing?
I remember some adventurous times of why did we do
But no,
that?
Travis, after Betsy, because he takes her to that porn theater and she's immediately turned off from that.
Something along the lines.
So she kind of gets out of his life as fast as she fucking can. But then he ends up latching onto another avenue.
Little fucker. And she says that turns me on just as much as doing that. Yeah. Which, I mean, if I recall correctly, it was a foreign film.
Accurate. And Travis was just like, yeah, that's the exact same for me.
Yeah, I don't get turned on by this.
I agree.
Yeah. I don't understand. But, he's like, if I would have known this how you felt about it, I would have never taken you to a place like that. Okay, but she said at the beginning, I don't do stuff like this. And then you still took her into the theater where she was like, dude, this is a dirty movie. We're in here with all these yucky people.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. He fucked up.
What was that?
Apparently something happened. Oh, I remember. The dog really wanted to go outside.
I couldn't hear the bell itself.
And
that was fabulous.
I got a bell for her to ring.
But no, after Betsy gets out as fast as she can, Iris Steensman is the next avenue of focus for Travis, and that is young 12-year-old Jodie Foster.
Sex worker.
It's the stuff that Martin Scorsese put this young girl through. Oh my god.
It's gross. I don't like it.
12 years old.
That's where we were like...
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Jodie Foster herself was 12 years old when they made the film.
He also, even worse is that he didn't know how to direct her. Because he hadn't really worked with child actors before. So he basically would tell Robert De Niro, and Robert De Niro would go and direct her. She basically, a lot of her acting career is devoted to Robert De Niro, who mentored her, who tutored her throughout this movie. And then she has to that last scene. The last scene is very chaotic and violent. And, it's not the last scene, but the climax of the film. Is when she's a young prostitute. Iris is, and Travis is trying to get her.
Mention that.
Yeah,
slightly dated term, but sorry.
Yeah, exactly. And Travis is trying to get her to stop the prostitution. He, even though he watches a lot of porn, he hates the prostitution. He hates everything about the city, and he finds it kind of.
The difference about porn is everybody's getting paid.
Oh yeah, definitely. Oh yes, sport. Sport.
Oh yeah, her pimp's name was Sport.
Yeah.
And
that's a good name. That's a good name, Matthew Higgins.
Hughes? Matthew. No, is Matthew Hughes?
Travis Bickle would be better if Bickle was in a pickle, but
Bickle is in a pickle, dude.
Sport's such a good name.
Bickle gets himself in the pickle.
He gets himself in a good pickle.
Yes, he sure does. He goes around and starts buying a bunch of guns. Well, one guy.
The climax, yeah. Yeah, because when Travis fails to get Iris out of the industry, if you will, he goes there and shoots the place up.
Yeah, he sure does. But he has to get the guns first. And I swear to God, we talk about the gun guy because he's a very interesting part of the film.
Oh yes, Palpatine.
So, he does. He goes to try to assassinate Senator Palpatine. And I don't really get it. I think it was just really kind of commentary of what was going on in the world at the time. And I don't know enough about the 70s to say what they were trying to mirror. But
I think it's partially to get back at Betsy and also because I think he senses that the corruption is coming from the head.
Yeah.
So he thinks if he can just chop the head off,
his self-righteousness
killed the corruption.
Has something to do with it.
That's how I think it. I don't remember exactly. I think it's kind of like mentioned throughout his diary entries. But I don't remember the exact reason. But I do think it's partially to get back at Betsy as well.
Yeah, his diary entries are like really
it's just mental illness
part of the film too. Yeah, he's definitely.
She's going to town on that bell. But no, yeah, the I can't remember what exactly inspired that one guy to try to shoot Ronald Reagan. I know it was for Jodie Foster, like he wanted to do it for Jodie.
But that was
what was his name?
So
John
weird.
Hinckley Jr. That was his name.
Yeah, was it really for Jodie though? Was that something that you confirm here in just a I just think that is so coincidental. Yeah, he was. But also
I think so. I think that was his.
Probably.
Yeah, he was reportedly. He was reportedly seeking fame to impress actress Jodie Foster, whom he had a fixation after watching her in Martin Scorsese's 1976 film Taxi Driver.
In this recording too.
He was.
Oh my God! So it was.
He was. Get this. Right. He was. This is why my dad really pitted these movies together. He was found not guilty by reason of insanity and remained under institutional psychiatric care for 3 decades.
That's it.
I don't wish, but it's like if that sentence had ended with "he was lobotomized," then my dad would have been a genius. It would have been like that was the long con. Dad was waiting for us to find that out. No, I do.
I don't know what I've said at this point. I don't know what it is that I want to say about the film.
But
because
after that movie,
I know I say it at the end.
Oh my God, no. Yeah, no.
Yeah, I see, yeah. I think I talked about how, like, I understand that kind of obsession, like, pining after adult stars who are, in their 20s and stuff, but, like, this is a 12-year-old, and that's gross.
Right.
And why would he want to shoot Ronald Reagan for her? Like, I don't get that. Of course, he's in an institution. So, I wonder if they gained some understanding in that case.
Yeah, highly respect. Yeah, definitely look up all the trigger warnings you can for this movie before you watch it. Because
there's a lot
I do
of them,
recommend it.
sure
I think it's an absolutely phenomenal film. It is not one I will watch a lot. In fact, it's a film that I will try to avoid if I can help it. Yeah, because you're right, it makes you feel scuzzy. I'm only giving it 4 stars. Also,
I did my closing statement.
Like it's not getting the full 5 because I can't rewatch it. It's not a rewatchable movie. But what I greatly appreciate and love about this film more than I do with One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest is that depiction of the protagonist. This movie's not trying to make you like Travis Bickle. It's not trying to stick up for a skeezy scumbag.
Guess not.
It's showcasing it. It's showcasing the decline of this country. It's showcasing the decline of society.
To make you
but that's the point.
Him,
that's why this movie, in my opinion, is great is because you get to the end and society is just washing him free of his crimes and is like, yes, he's one of us. He's a hero. I don't really care for and it's just like, it's so, it unnerves you if he died because he should not be rewarded. And it's very much, you see it going on today. I'm sorry if you're a Trump supporter. I don't know why you watch this show, but you see it today with Trump, where it's like, you have this very obvious skeezy scumbag criminal who's won the hearts and minds of all of these people. And it's like, why? How? Well, then you watch this kind of a movie, Taxi Driver, and you see it. That man is clearly insane. He has so many issues. But by God, he went in there and shot up some prostitution, or what are they called? Pimps.
I thought he was talking
shot
about
up Trump some pimps.
Too. Well, I gotta say...
I mean, it's kind of the same. Like, dude's clearly psychotic and has issues, sure.
But I guess he's trying to get a nuclear football. This is the part where he's talking to the guy about buying the guns. I really enjoyed the guy who was selling the guns, and I guess we never talked about that, but he is real good salesman about it. It's hilarious scene. I love it.
Yet all women are crazy, am I right?
What? Oh, I have no idea what happened. I don't know if I yes and did that, or if I just let it sit like I am now.
Hey, I mean, what can we say? What can we say? Hi, Xena. She's joined the podcast.
She joined the show. So here, I think
to wrap up.
We're wrapping up.
To wrap up, here, I personally think Taxi Driver wins of this genre Smackdown, just because it's not making me try to root for the hero, like the protagonist, if you will. Like, again, yes, we don't know McMurphy's background properly, but what is presented to us is not a good picture, and yet the movie spends its whole time trying to make us like this guy, and I don't know. I have a personal dilemma with that. I just can't get behind it.
I get you.
Whereas Taxi Driver, it's not trying to make you like Travis. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
But Taxi Driver, I choose to win because it's not trying to make me like Travis. It's very clearly being like, hey, this man's got issues, doesn't he? But guess what? Society thinks he's fine. They gave him the test and he passed it.
If you're talking about Travis, I don't know if they tested him, but I did not do my closing statement. I said I feel nasty whenever I watch this movie. I don't like it, and not that I think it's a bad movie. I think that it just makes me feel icky, and I don't like that. Oh my gosh! Yeah. But it is a good movie. It's a classic film of the era. It gets a full face.
Yeah. He's The Shining is oddly a watered down version of his performance in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
You think? Well, yeah, I guess kind of.
It's really weird
until the end. At the end, he Jack's real crazy at the end of Shining.
Yeah, yeah. Taxi Driver is hard to watch.
Yeah, it sure is, and that's why I give the win to One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Nice. I could watch it again
and that's the show. That is.
Yeah.
Thank you, patrons, for your submissions. And thank you to all who voted. Reminder, you can go to patreon.com/green and faceless if you want to make a submission for our next month's Patreon Potato Pick. It's October, coming up soon. So, maybe think of some spooky, scary films. Who knows?
/green and faceless.
But even if you don't have anything to commit, if you've got no money and you can't become a patron, or if you just don't want to submit money, that's fine. We understand. Go to youtube.com, whatever Green and Faceless's URL is there. Just search Green and Faceless. I'm sure you'll find us. We have a community page.
Patreon.com/green and faceless.
Yes. Search us on YouTube there. We have a community page. The Patreon polls will be posted there as well. So even if you don't want to become a patron, if you don't have that time to commit, think about going to YouTube and just voting. Yeah. We appreciate everything.
YouTube.com// FictionWorks 1917.
Exactly.
And
we love you all for it, no matter what you're doing out there. Thanks for listening.
Yeah, thank you so much for listening, and thank you, patrons, for your support.
Thanks for your service. I'm the Green Traveler from Gorsh.
And I am the Faceless Leone, and I salute you. Safe travels, and good night. End of commentary. Thank you. Green and Faceless on the Couch is a proud production of FictionWorks 19. Are you a fan of the show? Feel free to contact us at greenandfacelessfans@gmail.com or visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/greenandfaceless. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, or rate us on Apple Podcasts. Thank you so much for listening.